this is one of my favorites called Yes and. Vinny, you'll recognize this one. I spent a lot of time as an actor, and Yes and is actually an improvisation game. It's really the core of improvisation. And if you don't know what improv is, there was a TV show on with Drew Carey called Whose Line Is It Anyway? That kind of thing. It's making it up as you go along. It's ad-libbing. It's what we do in everyday life. You're having a conversation. You don't know what you're about to say. You're ad-libbing. You're improvising. Everything we do in life is improvisation. Even if you've planned it out to the minutest detail, it never goes exactly the way you plan it. You have to make adjustments as you go. Yes and, again, opens up the possibilities. The way you play the game as an actor is somebody says something and you respond with yes and you add something to it. So somebody might say, "Oh, I recognize you. You're from the planet Concocta." And you go, "No, there is no such place." Well, now there's no conversation. There's only limitation. There's only you're shut down. And it goes back to, now we have no choice. But if you play the game, then and somebody says, "I know you, you're from the planet Concocta." And you go, "Yes, I am from the planet Concocta, and I'm here to take over your world." Now it's interesting. And the fun of this is when somebody tries to cut you down and you agree with them and add to it. If you know the story of Eminem, the rapper, how one of the ways he came into being so big, they used to have these rap-offs. I forget what they actually call them, but it's, these contests, freestyle, where you rap against the other person, and whoever does the better freestyle rap, no rehearsals or anything, whoever does it wins. And a lot of it is just insulting the other person and cutting down the other person, and whoever does the best insults wins. Well, what Eminem did, he came in and he took everything that he knew the other guy was going to throw at him. He's a white guy in a black world. He's a little skinny guy in a room full of big, powerful, muscle, street tough guys. His mom was a drug addict or an alcoholic or something like that. Something else they could use against him. So he came out and said, "Yeah, I'm a skinny little white guy and my mom's a whore and blah, 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 blah," and completely took the wind out of the other person. They didn't know what to do with it. When you agree with people who are fighting you, there's no fight. And now you can smoothly move into a conversation. Leaves them speechless. And speckless, yes. Yes, and. and it's so much fun. It is so much fun to do that. Especially with people who come at you a lot. When you're used to certain relationships and they just come at you and they cut you down and they tell you what's wrong with you, and you turn around, you look them in the eye and you go, "Yeah, you're absolutely right." What are they going to say? A fight takes two people. So if you agree with the other person, and again, we're not talking about condoning it. We're not saying they are right. You're saying, "I understand your point of view. I can see where you're coming from." So even if you have to add that into it, "Yeah, I get what you're saying, and we can move over here with it." Not but. Don't say but, because that's denying what the other person is saying. So agree with them as much as you can. Even if you disagree with the concept or of what they're actually saying, just agree that you can see it from their perspective and get their point and honor them in that way. Does that make sense?